Okay, it's 4-5. Let's start. So hi guys. I am Ajit Nayak, member of Splunk Mumbai user group. So we'll be having this session on empowering Splunk app creation using Splunk UI toolkit by Chirag Mhatre. So there are certain ground rules which I want to tell everyone. Let me admit Taruchit is there.
Yeah,
So
I did.
okay, thank you, Vignesh. So one of the ground rule is please mute your microphone when you're not speaking. Uh, we encourage participants to use their video cameras to enhance engagement and create a more interactive experience. Like I'll be starting my camera in a meanwhile. And if you have any question, raise your hand or use chat for the same. This will help manage interruption and ensure that everyone has a chance to be heard. Be mindful of background noise. And as I mentioned earlier, there's a chat or the side conversation which we can you can use. And we encourage active participation. Please do not do so, sorry. Please do so by asking questions, sharing insight. Please consider this as less of a session or presentation and much more of a technical discussion. That being said, Chirag, all yours.
Thank you, Ajit. Welcome, guys, to next another session of Splunk Mumbai user groups. And today's topic, our topic for today would be empowering Splunk app creation using Splunk UI toolkit. So let's not get too it's not. Let's not consider this as a session. Let's consider this as a talk. So you can interrupt me anytime. You can ask me. You can stop me at any point, ask me questions, can tell me that I'm going too fast so that I can slow down, or maybe you can even add your points, your opinions to what I'm saying. Okay, so that being said, let's begin with that session. So before going ahead, something about me. Myself, Chirag Matre. I have 2+ years of experience in Splunk. I'm an analyst at Evotrix. I am currently working on Splunk UI Toolkit, Enterprise Security, and ITSI. And I have some experience with Splunk development and Splunk admin. That's enough about me. Let's start with our session. So today, the agenda for today is that we'll go through the introduction of our suite, that is Splunk UI Toolkit, then its features and its benefits, and we will see how to build Splunk apps using suite. And lastly, we will see one of the use cases that we created. So on to the next slide. All right. So have you guys heard about this new feature, Splunk UI Toolkit, known as Suite? Anyone?
Yeah, I think we can read that in the slide, but
Yeah.
not much, honestly.
Okay. So you will be learning something new today. And don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with any technical stuff. So what is Splunk UI Toolkit? Basically, imagine you are a developer working with a Splunk, one of the most powerful data analysis platform out there. You have tons of data, but you want to create a customized, user-friendly web app to make sense of it all. So have you been in a situation like you want to create a app or a dashboard and you want to make it visually attractive? Like I want to ask to the audience, what are the methods that you use to create a dashboard or an app?
Method in the sense like charts to visualize the results. Uh,
Exactly, exactly. Those are one of the methods. Like for me, whenever I want to develop a app or a dashboard, I initially go to the classic dashboard. That is the first option that I go to. It gives me a freedom with HTML and CSS and JavaScript, but it gets little complicated. But it still restrict me to use some Splunk visualizations or method. Then when that doesn't help me, I move over to Dashboard Studio as it's more user friendly. It's just drag and drop, and but it has its limitation as it doesn't allow me to add any type of buttons or any customization to the dashboard. So that's where the suit comes into the picture. It is a framework designed to make web apps for Splunk a breeze. Like it helps you to develop Splunk apps, make it more visually compelling, more visually attractive, and it's so easy that you can run 2 or 3 commands and you will be able to start with your first app with Splunk using Splunk UI toolkit. So before we go ahead, Splunk has already created a good amount of documentation about what is Splunk and how to use it. If I click on the link over here, it will take you to the take you to the web page where Splunk has given out all the instructions, all the requirements, what is needed for to get started with Splunk UI toolkit. You can follow this and you can basically start your development. The next would be the Splunk examples gallery. Now they have also created a lot of examples for you to follow. Like they have created these examples and they have even given you the code, given us the code. So you can click on here and it will take you to the GitHub repository where you can find all the code related to that application. So it's really open source and you can make use of it, download it and customize as per your needs. So everyone with me so far?
Yeah, I mean, you're saying that this is similar to what documentation we have for Splunk, because Splunk documentations are more than enough for anyone to understand, even for
Actually,
from a beginner to a experienced person, everyone can visit there to get a lot of insight. Similar to that, uh, this Splunk UI.splunk.com, it seems like it's very specific to the Splunk UI toolkit, right? It's a
exactly.
dedicated.
It's actually way better than the Splunk documentation that we use for other stuff. It's really more interactive. It's not really more theoretical. There are it has a less theory and more components and ready to use components. Like you
Got
can
it.
just copy and paste it.
Okay. So you get the code directly and then you can copy those
Exactly.
code and
And it is really specific to Splunk UI toolkit.
got it. Thanks. That helps.
Yep. Moving on to the next slide. That is the key components of suit. So the key components of suit are first is React UI. So before going ahead, have you guys heard or anyone worked on React before?
Yes, it's a framework for developing uh, advanced level of applications. It's a
Exactly.
JavaScript framework.
Thank you, Chetan. So basically, to add more to what Chetan said, is it's a open source UI library which helps you to develop user-friendly one single page applications. Hence, using there are a lot of plethora of components out there, a good community that you can reach out to, and actually, it is owned by Facebook. That is now owned by now called Meta. So you will get a lot of help. You won't get stuck. If you get stuck, you can reach out to community and you will be good to go. So that's about React and about the key components. The key component React UI. What is React UI? It is a ready-to-use toolbox for building user interfaces. It includes components that match Splunk design standards, making your app look great and ensuring code quality. Like, have you been in a situation where you want to you are building a dashboard and you're building you're creating a chart or something, but you were like, this is not I want something more. Have you been in a situation like this?
all the time.
Exactly. So like there are you are always in boundaries with what Splunk has given. But with Splunk React UI, you will be able to use all the components available in in React. So you might be wondering, what do I mean by component? So component is like a part of your app. Table, chart, side graph, navigation bar, what you name it, or whatever you see on your on your web page is like for example, let's say for example this Splunk. You have this page, it opens up, right? So this navigation panel, consider this as an one component. So once you have this component, you don't have to build it again and again. Like when you click on this opens up. That is called as component. this this is called as component. Every button, every thing, whatever, every clickable or every visualization that you see on this page is called as component. Cool, everyone with me?
Yes.
So before going
Yes.
ahead, let's see who has been paying attention. What is a full form of suit? I said it in the beginning of the session.
Splunk UI toolkit.
Very good. Thank you so much. Someone is listening to me. So the next, moving on, getting back to our session, the next key component is our dashboard framework. So what is dashboard framework? Dashboard framework is basically a simplified dashboard. It has simplified the dashboard creation. It's like building with easy to use blocks. You can add interfaces, interactive input fields, and use control everything programmatically using dashboard API. It's like an API that Splunk has given. You can just create your dashboards to go to your dashboard studio, create your dashboard, and just use it in your React application. That's how easy it is. Like the one and only downside of Dashboard Studio was that it didn't allow you to add any customization to it. But using this Splunk UI toolkit, you can use Dashboard Studio code with React component. So it will allow you to add your own customization. Isn't that interesting? So next key component is visualizations. As someone said that they are always getting restricted by Splunk provided visualization like charts, bar graphs. What if I want to use something else? So that's where what Suite allows you to do. So visualization in Suits are like go to for turning raw data into beautiful charts and graph. They use a specialized language to effortlessly connect data with compelling visuals. Like for me, there was one situation, one scenario where I was developing an app. That I was in the beginning phase of my suit development. So I was just going through, I had a requirement. So I was going through some visualizations. So I used this Splunk visualization. I went to my manager with that visualization. So he saw that and he wasn't happy with it. He he picked out a lot of things from it. So I was like, what to do? I want to impress my manager. So I went to the Google and I started Googling for different components. Uh, then I found a lot of components, hundreds of components, and I found what I wanted. So and I used that components, and then he didn't have any complaints about it. So that's how it helped me. Like there are a lot of components in React, not only Splunk provided ones, but different components who a lot of people have worked on. As the React community is the it has huge community, so you will find whatever you need on the Google. Now that app is on Splunk base. So coming back to our session, so that's what this Splunk UI toolkit is in a nutshell. It brings you elegant components, simple dashboards, stunning visuals, and handy libraries for your app development needs. Everything with me? Everyone with me?
Yeah.
And any questions?
Yep, I have one, Chira.
Yep.
So why React works for application development?
Okay, so that's a good question. That's a great question, actually. Thank you, Anurag. In React, components act like a Lego block, making it easy to build and maintain UIs. They're like puzzle pieces you can reuse and rearrange. As you saw, I gave you an example in Splunk, right? Once you have that navigation bar, you don't have to code it again and again. You can use it and rearrange it as per your needs in any application. It is not bound to one application. Once you have built one component, you can use that in another application as well. Splunk UI Toolkit takes this simplicity a step further, supporting the use and sharing of this component across applications. It's like having a toolkit for UI development. Is that clear? That's why the React is really helpful in application development.
Yep, got it. Thank you, Chira.
Thank you. Now that we know what now we saw what are the suite feature, React and dashboard framework. Now I will show you one example that will explain you how the traditional website works and how the React website works, like how it is efficient and how it makes it user friendly. So these are two links. Like this one, first one is created using traditional website, traditional HTML5. As you can see, it reloaded whenever I want to. This page opens up in front of me. Let's say I want to navigate through this website. Like whenever I click on, I want to go to about. So when I click on it, it will reload the entire page. So that's not very user friendly. It's not very efficient in this modern world. Like whenever I click on it, it will either open up a new page or it will reload the entire thing. See, it is reloading entire thing, and it is not like who likes to wait, right? In this new technical world. So that's where this Splunk UI toolkit comes into the picture. So this is the website built using React. So when I click on it, this is a Splunk documentation website, but whatever I'm explaining, it has nothing to do with Splunk. So they have built this website using React. So I'm giving you an example that how it works, like how what is happening. So when I want to navigate to any of these tabs, I just click on it. It won't reload the entire page, as you can see. It is not reloading the entire thing. It is just updating. You can say it is updating the document. That this consider this part as a document, and whenever you click on it, the this document is getting updated. Getting me? Everyone with me?
Yeah, you
Yes,
mean
sure.
the page doesn't refresh, the page remains the same, the contents in it gets updated, right?
Exactly. Now
Yep,
that
we
you
got it.
have seen the example, let me show how it works in the backend. Like it's really interesting how the backend works. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are sitting in your on your desk and you hit on your browser, you hit a URL. It was basically built with a traditional HTML5 website. So your request will go to the server. The server will handle that request and give you a response. The response would be your entire page as a document. It will come back to your web browser and it will show you the page that you need. Then again, you want to navigate to some another tab. So you will click on it. Then again, it will again that request will go to the server. Server will process it, and then then the response will come back as a document. So that's not really convenient, right? Because every time you do something, it will go to the server and server will process it and then give you back the page. So to overcome this issue, React was introduced. So what React website does is whenever you request any website built using React, it will go to the server. The server will process your request and give you a response. It will be a virtual DOM. What do I mean virtual DOM? So virtual DOM is like a document, a virtual document which will handle all your requests. Like whatever you do from once you get that this virtual DOM is will be updated and will this virtual DOM will serve your every request. Like on whenever you click on it, this virtual DOM will handle that request and update your page. So it really makes it fast, user friendly, and really convenient for you to use. So that's how the traditional website and a React website works. Any questions in this? No questions. So moving on, as you saw the examples above, based on that, I will give you what are the benefits of Splunk UI Toolkit. Like as I said, that you can use any component that you have built. You can use it multiple times. It's not like you can use it in only one application. You can use it in multiple applications. It is efficient and you can isolate the code. Like if you create a component, you cannot it can be independent of irrespective of the application. It will work independently. Then there is like you can maintain your code, you can share your components, whatever you build, you can customize any visualization that you need. Then it makes the development modular. It is fast and optimal, as you saw. The designs are really responsive, as you just saw in the website. Then there is interactive data visualization. Like whatever visualization you have, you can make it more interactive. And the community and support for this Splunk UI toolkit is really great. I personally have reached out to a lot of community. The best one is the Splunk user Splunk group. That is the React Splunk UI group on Slack. They have really helped me. You can, if you have any questions, you can. That is the go-to place. Or even you can go to Google, and if you have any doubts related to React, you will get answers from Google as well. But if you want specific to Splunk UI toolkit, then I will say that you can reach out to me on our Slack group if anyone can share that link in the chat, or you can reach out to the Splunks group. Maybe Ajit, you can share that in the chat. Thank you.
Sure,
Moving
Chirag, will do.
on, like there are some prerequisites before we go ahead. Like let's say I want to develop an app, and how do I begin with it? So there are some prerequisites. They're like you need Node.js version that would be 12 or 14. Then you need a yarn. So what these both two are, these are basically installers. It will help you to install any libraries related to React. So if you have worked on Python, then this is like pip. So how pip helps you to install any packages or libraries, that's what the yarn or the Node.js does. And the next is your any code editor. I usually personally prefer Visual Studio Code. You can use any code editor you want. And you will need Splunk 9.0.0 or above running on it. I'm saying this by personal experience that Splunk UI toolkit works better on Splunk 9.0.0 or above. It's by personal experience. It hasn't they haven't said anything like you have to use Splunk 9.0 anywhere. But I have developed an app which weren't working on versions below than this. So I would say that I would recommend you to use Splunk 9.0.0 or above. Any questions?
No, nothing so far. Chirag,
No questions.
So enough with the theoretical part. Let's start with the good stuff. That is developing the our first app. So before going ahead, what is like what are the methods you guys have used to develop apps or add-ons? If you can share any of your thoughts, any of your stories.
For building
Hello,
any
Chirag.
Splunk add-on, so add-on builder is the best so far, I guess.
Okay, thank you, Chetan. Someone was saying something.
Yeah. So one for creating the add-on, I use add-on builder. It is
Cool.
user friendly. Yeah.
Actually, everyone is using add-on builder. Cool, 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 cool. So there's a new stuff coming out. You can try this as well. So let's get started with our first app. That like first app creating our first app using Splunk UI toolkit. So if you go to the Splunk documentation, the links that I have shared, go to API docs, then create, and then you can go to create Splunk app. There you will find a video about how to get started. What are the commands that you will need to run? So I'll explain what is happening over here. So they are running first. They are running npx @splunk/create. So what this command does is it's like an installer. How you do curl, exactly same thing is happening over here. It is fetching the libraries and all the folders you need for your application. Once that fetching is done, it will give you some of the options like what do you want, like you want to create a repo with React component or a repo with React application or a React component. Like it depends on your need, that what do you need, just a component or a React app with a component. So we need the second one, so we'll click on it. Then it will ask for what for some extra information from you. That would be the component name, that would be create demo component, then repo, then create demo app. Once you give that, that's it, that's all you need. Once you enter, it will fetch all the it will create the directory structure of your application. Once that is done, you will need to do yarn run setup. So whenever you develop your app, it's not complete it, its dependencies hasn't yet resolved yet. So what this so you need to run yarn run setup. So basically it sets up your entire application. What it does, it fetches all the dependencies related to your or application. It builds the application, and it actually makes your application ready to use. Everyone with me so far? Any questions?
So, Chirag, thanks.
I have a question. Let's see who all have been paying attention. What was the name of our app?
Create demo.
Correct, 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 correct.
Chirag, I have one question.
Hmm.
Instead of npx, can we
Yeah.
use npm, Node Packet Manager?
Okay. That's a good question. NPM and NPX. There is a big difference between those two. So what is NPM? npm is like a package downloader. What it will do is it will download whatever package you need. And what is npx is it is like a installer. Like it will help you create a library, a directory structure. It won't just download the package. It will fetch whatever it is, whatever you needed. And what Splunk has done is they have created a directory structure and created a command for it. So whenever you do npx, it will it will ask for some of the inputs, and it will fetch that directory structure. It's fetching, it's not installing anything, it is fetching. And when you need to install any package, then you use npm. So that's the difference between npx and npm.
Okay, cool. And it gives us a full-fledged React template, basically. That's it.
Exactly. It gives you a template that you can modify it as per your needs.
Good. Thanks, man.
Thank you. That was a good question. Thank you, Chetan. So once your application is set up, once you run that setup, see, it has given you given a success message that it has been built. Your component and your application has been built. Then next stuff would be, now you have your all the dependencies resolved. You have your complete application ready. Now you need to link that. It's not connected to the Splunk yet, so you need to link that to the Splunk, right? So where exactly do we store the where do we find the apps which are installed in Splunk, in which directory? Anyone?
etc apps.
Correct, exactly. So that's why we need to link our app, right? So next command would be, we will go to our app directory. That would be packages, then our app name. Once we go there, we just need to run yarn link app. So what this will do is it will create a shortcut of whatever React application you have created into your etc apps. So there will be a shortcut created on our etc app, and then you will restart your Splunk. That's it. You will be ready. Your application will be ready to use. Once you have restarted your Splunk, this is how the your application will look like. Cool, right? So it has this is your application, and this part is your component. As you can see, hello from the inside create demo component. That's the name of our component to indicate that this is the component. Cool. Now that we have seen the basic stuff, now let's get into something more interesting. That would be creating our own component. That is, let's add a table to this application. So I want to add a table to my if I want to add a table to my application. So what I will do, I will go to Visual Studio Code. That would be my code editor. So as you can see over here, this is how the directory structure will look like. See, you have your application and you have your demo component, right? And in node modules, you will have all the packages that you have when you run yarn setup. So it will fetch all the dependencies, all the packages in this node modules directory. Then there is packages. The packages folder will have your application and your demo component. Now I want to add one more component to it. So what I will do is I will run npx @splunk/create. The very first command that we run in the beginning. Again, once you run that command, and it will ask for the name of your component. As you can see, it's asking, please enter a name of your component. So I will give a name of the component. So I will suggest that please do not use any hyphens, any symbols in this, any space in this while giving a name to your component or your application. Please avoid that. And you should follow camel casing while naming your components or application. Once you have given that, see, it has created a new directory over here, that is create demo component 2. That is our new component. So it has given you a template for new component. Now we just need to copy the code and whatever code we have and paste it over here. Everyone with me so far? Any questions still here?
No, Chirag.
No questions, like we are following all the steps.
Okay, that's good to hear. Now we'll see whatever I'll be using, whatever code I'll be using will be from this documentation that Splunk has already provided. I won't be using any of my stuff. So what I'll do is I'll go, as I have shared the links already. I'll go to that link. I'll click on API document. API document. And there are plethora of components, whatever plethora libraries that you can use actually. Like for every, like if you want to use Splunk specific visualizations, then they have already given Splunk visualizations for you. Then you have to use dashboard framework. So they have given a dashboard framework as well. And there is React. See, as you can see, I explained earlier, these are the key components of the Splunk UI toolkit. So they have different components and different libraries for these three components. Okay. Then you have a different, like you have your own icons, whatever you want to use, like sparkle lines, feed summary, search, whatever you want to use as per your requirement. So we want to use a table, right? So it's in React UI. Go to React UI. See, they have given you how to begin with it. They have given what all libraries that you will need. Then they have also they have ready to use component actually. As you can see over here, this is a accordion. They have already created. You can even copy the code over here, or you can go to Open Sandbox, click on Open Sandbox, and edit that the already given code to whatever you need. Like you can and create your component right here and then use it in Splunk instead of creating a component inside your Splunk application. You can create your components right here. That's cool, right? Interesting. So we need to use a table. So I search for table. I'll click on it. What I'll do, I need this. I need this type of table in my application. So I'll do show code. I'll copy this code and pay before going that I'll need to import this stuff and stuff as well, right? So I'll copy the entire thing. I'll go back to my video. I'll copy the entire thing, and I'll just go to my uh, component file that I created, and I'll paste the entire thing over here. As you can see, I have pasted the entire thing that I copied from the Splunk documentation, and that's it. I just need to save it, and see, once you save that, your application will start to build automatically, and it will emit. And you just have to go back to your Splunk and hit refresh. See, your our component, our table component is added. But there is one. Let's make it more interesting actually. So this table is getting populated using demo data. What if we want to populate it with Splunk search query, like SPL? Like I want to display a source, how many source I have, and its count. So I'll create a search query for it. I will have that handy, and then I need to create a search job, right? So there are different, it has different libraries that you can use. So you'll go back to the Splunk documentation. You'll search for your the search job library that you want to use. Now you have this search job, right? Search job package. Now you will need to install it before using it, or it will give you an error that it doesn't exist. So you will go copy this part, the npm. See, as Chetan asked before, what is npm? So npm is actually a installer. See, npm install. It will help you install this library. So I'll copy this part and go to my Visual Studio and just paste the command that I copied from the website and hit enter. What it will do, it will download and install the package for you. Once it is downloaded, it gives you that all the dependencies are clear. It has been downloaded. Now you want to use it. So what I'll do, I'll go back to my documentation, and I'll copy this import statement. I'll copy this import statement and go back to my go back to my component and where I want to create a search, and I'll paste that import statement there. Now that I have a package imported, right? I have my package imported. Now I need to create a search. So I'll go back to the go back to the documentation. I'll copy this create. Just create. Click on create. It will give you instructions about how to create a search job. What is the syntax and how to use it. Just copy this first part and go back to our code and paste whatever we copy. Now that we have our search job created, but we have to use those results, right? Whatever that search job is returning, we're still not using it. We just ran a search. Now we need to use that results in our application, in our table component. So what I'll do, I'll go back to the document. I will go to result section, which will show you how to use the result. So I'll copy this part and go back to our code, and I'll paste whatever I copied. Now what this will do is it will help you to use the whatever response we are getting. Once that is done, I'll need to format my table, right? Now it has the header like name, age, email. So can you tell me what are the headers that we will be needing? If we need like if we are displaying source and its count, so what are the headers that we will need? Anyone?
You just needed, I guess, field names.
Exactly. So the headers would be, obviously I want to display source and count, right? So instead of name, age, or email, I would have a head cell as source and one another head cell as our count. So that's what I'll edit. See, here I created my search. I gave my search Splunk search. So that would be index internal, and then I'll do stats count by source type. So obviously I will get a source and its count in my result. Then I'll give the header name, that would be source. And then count. Now that I have headers, but I haven't still mapped the data to our table component, right? Now it is taking that row name and row email, which it will not find because I have removed the demo data. Now it needs to use the data from my search, right? So in my search, there will be row dot source and row dot count. So I'll make changes as per my search, whatever data I'm getting, that would be row dot search and row dot. Once that is done, you just have to go save your code and go to your application and just hit refresh. See, it's popular. Your table is populating with source and its count. Isn't that interesting? Now that you have seen this example, this is pretty basic stuff. We have created an interesting example as interesting example. It was more like a use case for us, like it was a requirement. So we searched for, we tried it using Dashboard Studio Classic, but we weren't able to complete that requirement using basic stuff. So we need to move on to the Splunk UI toolkit. So this is one of the example. So this is the app we created. The entire thing, the all the things you see over here was created using Splunk UI toolkit. Whatever given in the documentation, all the components given in this documentation were used in this application. As you can see, it whenever I click on any tab, it doesn't refresh the entire page. It's just updates the thing, and you can add transitions to it. Like, see, when I click on it, it's like interesting, right?
Do you have data in this by any chance?
Yeah, I do. Just need to go and change my time picker. Let this actually this entire dashboard is populating using Splunk search queries. Actually, whatever data is inside the Splunk, this dashboard is using Splunk query. And you will be surprised that this part is built using Dashboard Studio code. Like whatever you have created in whatever you create in your Dashboard Studio, right? It generates a code in the backend. So I have used that code over here. So that's how this thing is populating. It's nothing fancy, just your Dashboard Studio code, and I have just copied and pasted it. Nothing else. It doesn't look that difficult because it's just drag and drop, right? Dashboard Studio. You create your dashboard over there, and you use that code that is generated in your React application. So as you can see, the dashboard is getting populated, and I go to this page. The Splunk searches are running. That's why, see, the dashboard got loaded up. That's one example. And there is one more example that's pretty like that was one of the requirement, one of the use case, and it was nearly impossible using basic stuff. So this is the map application that we created. It was displaying some tutors. It was a requirement. We customized the map and dashboard and our Splunk application to you create this visually compelling application. As you can see, it has a lot of features that were not possible in Splunk if you are not using Splunk UI toolkit. So yeah, that's the use case. And if you have, do you have any questions related to this question, whatever I have explained?
Chirag, this application is any browser specific, or it can be ran in all type of browsers?
Good question. Actually, there are some compatibility. That is, if you go to the documentation over here, when you click on get started, it has given what are the browsers it is compatible with. It's compatible with. So it is compatible with Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Safari, Microsoft Edge. So basically all the famous browsers that people usually use.
Okay, thanks.
And
Yeah.
Chirag, does this come with all sorts, I mean, with default Splunk enterprise license, or like MLTK, this is also kind of a paid service that we require?
No, it's totally open source. It's totally free. There is nothing that needs to be buy.
Okay, thanks. But this dashboard use case was pretty good. I mean, yeah.
Exactly, and it wasn't possible with the normal dashboards. And it doesn't look that if you look at it, it will look to like it might be hard, but it's not. It just really copy and paste. Whatever code was there, this example was already given by the Splunk. So if I go over here in the examples gallery, they already had created the map application. So I just customized it as per my need. So that's the app first. That was our first application that we created. Now I'll give you a summary that what all things that we used. Like what were the commands? So the npx @splunk/create. So any of you know what this command was used for? Can you like I have explained it before? Can you give me a quick?
To create a app package.
Correct. Thank you, Ravi. Then the next would be yarn run setup. So anyone else knows about this command? Anyways, it's okay. So what this yarn run setup does is it sets up your entire application. It fetches it resolves all the dependencies. It builds your application. Then what would be our next step? That would be linking our app to the Splunk. Right? So we run run link app inside your packages folder. Then we'll do yarn run start. So what this yarn run start does is whenever you run a yarn run start, right? So it will start to monitor your entire root directory. So whenever you do any changes in your root directory or any of your component or any application, it will monitor those changes. Once you hit save, it will build the entire application again and emit those changes to your dashboard. Then we use then we need to add a new component. So we use this npx splunk @splunk/create command again. So yeah, those were the things that we used. This was our use case and Q&A sessions. Do you any guys do any of you have any questions for me?
not at this point. I mean, this was quite good, both from use case as well as from details point of view. Thanks for it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Anyone else?
I'm good too, Chirag. Great session, man. Thanks.
Thank you, Chetan. Anyone else? So we should wrap up this thing. No questions, no. So let's I take it as let's end it over here. Thank you so much for joining. And if you guys have any questions related to Splunk UI toolkit, as Ajit might have already shared the links, maybe.
Yes. Thank you, Chirag. Let me take over. Thank you, Chirag, for this informative session on Suit, and a big thank you to everyone who joined us in this discussion. I believe that you have gained a substantial amount of information in this feature, like Suit. I'd also like to seize this opportunity to share some details about the Mumbai Splunk user group. We regularly host session every month, and we highly encourage all of you to participate in any way you can. You're welcome to join as a session speaker as well, where you can bring topics with details, insight for like if you have any session in mind, we can utilize it. You can become a speaker. Additionally, we can organize a session on the topic suggested by you. If you have any other topics and you don't want to like become
video
a
chalta hai.
sorry, is someone saying something? Okay. Also, don't forget to connect with us on Slack. It's a great platform for real-time communication and collaboration. And we look forward to having you on board. So if like no one has anything else, we can wrap this up. Thank you, Chirag. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Chirag.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, for joining. See you in the next session.
Thank you, Chirag.